And we're back with the NECC, and it is grand final time here in Division 1 Counter-Strike. My name is Vincent, joined by Get the Bag, Mark. And Marky, I am so happy to be alongside you because this grand finals is going to be fantastic.
No, I'm excited to be here with you as well. You mentioned it's grand finals time. Well, you know what that means, right? It's best of five time. So strap in. We may be here for a long one.
Yeah, we last time we had a best of five final. It went four maps, not the full distance five, but it was Durham Lords actually that were there in those finals. That was Division 2 last season in the fall. Now they are Division 1 finalists. This is a incredible upswing this Durham Lords team has been able to complete with three of the same players coming over from last fall into the spring and making another final. That's incredible, and they're up against a stalwart, an unstoppable force in the collegiate Counter-Strike space. That's Fisher College at the moment. These guys, they don't lose games very often. We'll see if Durham can make them lose a couple here.
I mean, that's certainly the question, right? Because Durham, I mean, talking to Coin right before this, told us that they are on a 19 game win streak ever since that Division 2 run that brought them here, Vincent. You see where we are at, right? It's Ancient that's going to be getting up first, Nuke up second, and Anubis third, Mirage fourth, and Inferno if we need it. So, honestly, these first three maps are going to be a pretty often playground for both of these squads here, but you obviously know that it's going to be a challenge walking uphill against anything Fisher College is going to throw at you.
Yeah, I know that Durham are really strong on Nuke. They like to play Nuke, and I think I'm recalling that they play a bit of Ancient as well. The hard part here is that those first three maps are all really strong for Fisher College. So as much as it's good to have some comfort across the map pool, when you're the underdog, which Durham are definitely the underdog considering this the way that this season has gone, it's hard for me to have faith when Fisher has such strength across the beginning of this map pool.
So the underdogs. I'm happy to see him back. The
Me
Durham
too.
Lords. I mean, it was an interesting winter for them. It was an interesting winter for us, you know. The last time we were casting grand finals, we were huddled up in a land center in Kansas City, and it was awesome. I mean, we were there, and even Fisher College came into play the Division 1 finals right next to us. It was a lovely affair, but you know, as I was saying, right, we had an interesting winter. That wasn't it, right? We went up to Toronto where we actually got to meet and talk to these Durham Lords guys at Laundersland.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool to see, these guys coming out to an event like Land, and then beyond that, they had a stage game that everybody was kind of getting behind them. It was a lot of fun to watch, and
Totally.
I think that kind of continues the storyline that we were alluding to, which was that Durham moving from Division 2, making a final, winning that final in a tight fashion, to then going, entirely undefeated, moving through the rest of this season. Like, that's an incredible story that they have been at the forefront of. And I think that, regardless of who the opponent is, Durham is here to try and prove that, that's not going to stop now. That's gonna continue forward, that they're gonna look to do this as, they look into down the pike at maybe a team that will not be able to stay the same five forever.
No, absolutely. I mean, even it's interesting considering their playoff run, right? Fisher College actually dropped, more maps along the way than the Durham Lords did, right? They just came off that 2-0 versus California State Fullerton out there and picked up a 2-0 previously to that, whereas Fisher College, right, got into a pretty handsy affair with that RIT squad where they ended up ripping a map against them. And so Fisher College will have a bit of a chip on their shoulder, right? They're not exactly untouchable against these collegiate teams, but we know that these fellas have a different level of experience and can put themselves into a different gear. Here, they're all the way out middle early. Let's see how they approach the Durham Lords.
Yeah, Alex is in an incredibly forward position, and that's not going to matter. What a nice shot from JL. Going to send Alex to be calling from the grave. Basically, the rest of the team here for the T side grouped up, ready to pop towards B site, but Turner is so prepared. These dualies are fantastic, but he's stepped back. Uh-oh. Okay. Tucks back into the corner. When this explosion comes through, these dualies are going to be primed.
Yep, and here they go, right to work, and can only get one. Neils the trade out, but the B site, Vincent, this is what's going to be caught right up. Korn can't go ahead and confirm, but that's why Krepow is always there at the hip to make sure that this trade is going to be automatic. OMJL with 2 more blinders right at the end, stirs it up and makes it a 3K for himself, and makes it an advantage early for the Lords.
Yeah, that's a nice pistol round. OMJL just serving Alex up a quick and easy headshot there from the house side, and then comes back in to play off of his teammates quite nicely. That's a triple kill on a pistol round that Durham are definitely going to be happy with. As we get into the second round, I know we were kind of yapping ourselves, but Fisher elected to take all of their timeouts there. Obviously, something was like going wrong, I would assume, but I think they used their tactics technically, given that. So keep that in the back of your mind. This one's going to be a B fake into the A attack, as the fake part of this is already done. Tatum gets the opening on A, and Krepow goes down on B, but that opens the A bomb site for the plant.
Yeah, this worked so well. Staring at your mini-map right there during that B fight, I mean, you had all 4 Durham Lords alive that were just looked towards that B site, but Turner trying to get up with this SMG, expecting to pull up that scope later, but is going to be making some money right now, UMP style, but on 1 health is going to be so susceptible to either side of this donut peak right now. Korn, just with this MP9, can go ahead and peek, and they just do the dirty work. Easy stuff for Fisher College. They go ahead and upset Durham Lords right away.
Yeah, Niels and Korn there in the clutch, so confident. They swing together, play, and each get their ones, and then even though both of them are pretty low, I mean, the communication is just, all right, well, let's just swing together. You know, he's not going to kill us both, even though that technically was possible, the low HP bars, but Fisher hit the shots quickly and make sure that isn't a possibility with them fighting back and bouncing back from that devastating loss on the pistol round. Served up by OMJL. Now it's the eco for Durham.
Tatum wants to occupy some aggressive territory. So far in this matchup, there's nothing new, but Blessed is going to get the better of Tatum right there just on these USPs. It's a hint of damage and just kind of a whirl of pain right now. Maybe a Deagle can put a stain on it, Vincent, but that does not seem to be in the itinerary, and Fisher College, they're looking more and more like themselves every round we get across this game. Maybe every dink we put on to one of our teammates, Vinny. They like to have a little bit of a troll time, but we know that it has costed them just briefly in the past, like nothing major, but some shenanigans.
I mean, it almost cost them big time against Cumberland. You and I watching that game, that was on Train, where, you know, Fisher had a significant advantage and were forced into OT on that map. They're gonna send it though. Oh, the flashbangs are beautiful as well. Krepow's entry is stunning, and Tatum has the SMG upgraded now into an A4. This should just be a save, though a question of whether Fisher will allow that.
Yeah, trying to get the spam on through with the MP9. I think they're tempted at this is something that smoke, but that's what happens when you do it. But you're gonna get it right back to you. That is absolutely lethal. Out of both of these sides, it's certainly sharp tonight.
I mean, you know what? Fair enough. I love that from Blast, who realizes that he's getting disrespected, that Fisher are not stopping, that they are trying to beat them down mentally at the early stages of this game, and he just says 2 can play at that one, my friends. I'll get the knife out. I'll show you how it's done, and lets them know that this is not something that they can get away with without the comeback being possible. Durham, they might have lost everybody, but a mental battle that could have spelled defeat for them? No, absolutely not.
Certainly, and I mean, at least out here with the efforts tonight, you're going to see a very nice spirit in this final, right? I think that's going to put a bit of a lighthearted spin on that last round, where I think Durham Lords are going to throw their hat into the ring again against these pistols, where they're actually maybe just a little bit luckier towards this A side again. At least they're here. It's opposed to the previous hits where it was just one and then done. We'll see if this Deagle decides to get a little more adventurous. Does not have that in mind, but Niels converts another one of these nade kills, and Fisher College are just relentless.
Yeah, I mean, Spam continues to fly forward, and Niels is good for another one in the process. Blasted, you know, courtesy of that purchase, or courtesy of that knife kill, has the SMG, but that too is irrelevant. They're on the hunt. Oh! Oh, nice shot there from Papa. Oh, that'll be one for the highlight reel. Cut it short, though, because that kill at the end, Tatum going to make sure he doesn't get away with it. Still, a couple of exits, all things considered, for Durham. A round they had almost certainly already lost. Doesn't really seem like a big deal.
Look, and as long as Fisher College is going to be absolutely just pressing down on that gas, Vincent, I mean, they are absolutely getting this thrown back at them, but as long as this doesn't change on the scoreboard, I think they're going to keep in right going so quickly. It's Niels that picks up their 11th kill of the half, but it's going to take a silencer just like that. However, if you're going to be able to convert that every time, well, there is some sweet revenge lurking right through A main, and Krepow is going to have this signature all over that. Quick adjustment right towards this A side where the bomb is just turned back around on Korn's half back to B.
This is a little bit complicated. Crucial position for Tatum, who now takes up Red Room. And that Molotov sort of kind of tells a story that Tatum isn't here. All of this is pulling away that information, but Turner is good for it. He's actually checked on the Red Room, and Alex is going to have to fall back, settle back into this as Fisher wait him out. This Molotov could be perfect, but it's just a little bit too late. Korn hits the shot anyway, and Korn a double kill as he stalls him out, not with the Molotov, but with his rifle.
2 alive again. I don't think they're really going to be fretting too hard at a lead at this stance, right? Don't believe me. Look at what Alex is holding at the moment. You a fan of the sawed-off, Vinny?
I'm always, well, I'm a fan of the shotguns. Sawed-off's kind of goofy, but...
Oh, blessed. That is going to be double stacked Molotovs right on the ramp, immediately taking down, but now going gun-ho right into cave. The shotgun is about to show its full colors, but damaging up the ramp. It's even a pump out of Tatum with that buck shot. Got that out of the Nova, and Coin can only run and hide. The IGL of Durham Lords. Let's see who come up with something against this.
I mean, he'll grab one on the fadeaway. That's ensuring that Alex doesn't get away. He's searching for what he hopes is a rifle, but that's not what's happened. He's going to sit in the smoke and wait it out for the time being. Failed run boost. Korn doesn't love that. Oh.
No! Would have been the 2nd in 7 rounds for Krepow, but there's a reason why those are difficult to get. We have to keep a litmus on that. Things would be getting out of hand too early. Things seem to be going that direction for Niels. 13 kills. Somebody's got to do it.
I mean, he's been unstoppable in doing so. Openers aplenty. I think at this point it's about, stop the bleed for Durham. Need to find a win here and now. Turner's about to be isolated. Great kill. Oh, but can't find the double up. Look at the HP. Alex is so very low.
This is stylish. Even the auto shotgun that time, he got Tatum scoped up himself in cave with Krepow coming around, and he surely wants to add another to his collection. Here to the cabinet, he does have another knife kill, his 2nd of Ancient, but he goes down without the trade. OMGL, he is on the hot seat, but the P2K will keep him afloat for now.
Yeah, this is still not exactly perfect. That attempt, grab the knife, that's great, but it also opens up opportunities with that trade frag, and even more than that for OMJL. Alex is low, and he's going to have an open B or A site, to go to. Papa is not that far away. Fortunately, Alex plants safe, so he's going to get the bomb down, but the escape made! Oh my goodness, and Alex goes for another one! These swings, a little absurd, yet Alex still stands for the moment.
Stand strong, but at 11 health, fake it till you make it. Up to peek first. It's going to be just buried, and if you double up, that could be the worst diagnosis. Through the box, ain't gonna threat, and now the clock is out. Alex is the threat. It's a 1v3 for the Swede, and that is just so easy.
I mean, Alex, it's a situation that should be unwinnable on paper. Absolutely is. And Durham, truth be told, they don't even make that mistake really on their own. They just allow themselves, for Fisher, for Alex, to chop and change around that box. But it's all about what Alex does, not what Durham don't do. That's a tragedy, but it's all thanks to Alex's maneuvering.
And they're not going to stop. I mean, Korn apply the pressure. The MAC-10 won't even respect the smoke, diving right through and just decapitating Papa. This is no dear fret about it, Vincent. There's no consideration to this. To anybody over on Durham Lord in these positions, I mean, ran over through middle. They just boxed him out towards B, and Alex went cross route, but flattened towards A. There's no stopping this team at the moment.
Yeah, it's devastating because, you know, that should have been the big win, the moment where Durham break back in, and maybe there's a chance here for Turner. Time has already halfway expired. That Molotov's gonna be a little bit of a time sink for them. Unfortunate, though, for Turner that Alex is right in his way. But I was always saying, Marky, you know, Durham, they unfortunately had done everything right in that round. You know, a valiant attempt, that trade frag by OMGL, like the knife kill comes out, so for the first time, Fisher, their overzealousness kind of coming back to haunt them just a little bit. And yet, even in that round, Alex ensures that that does not happen. A 1v3 clutch followed up by domination. Seems like there's no stopping Fisher College at the moment, as they'll get a trade out mid. Durham, thankful for that.
Where they were a little heavier, it's just going to be Turner up towards B at the moment. Let's see where this next answer is, as Pop-Up seems to have an inkling about where this next foot could go from Fisher College. Let's step up to Cave, at least Crap Out holding on to the back line, but Korn turns that corner, deletes Turner, and even within distance deleted on this site, it's OMGL that can just peer through in for a moment, but mollied off at endgame. How are you going to be able to get past this?
Yeah, I mean, gets one, burns one. That's a nice start. Coin set in, at least for an attempt, but Crep out has a molly prep, just gonna run away. Smoke under the bomb. Wait, this is problematic. There's no kit. Let's see if he sticks it. Oh, has to go off. That nade pushes him back, and Krepal's just playing games. Eventually gonna go down, but time has expired. The lack of a kit makes it difficult for Coin. He doesn't have any real time to play with because of that.
Oh, man. I mean, that is just so devilish. Throwing that nade, you know you're gonna get peeked, you're exposed, and then you're gonna wall banged again. It's all a ruse, and that type of time, there's just too many options to go for on that Fisher College side. One away from double digits now, and you know that's pretty good considering it would have to just push 12 to get that number, Vincent.
Yeah, I'm feeling like Fisher might have Ancient figured out. Not tied up, but figured out. At least here on the C side.
This is a very strong one for them. And it was against RIT that they dropped Anubis. You've seen other teams, like, I remember at Frag, they dropped a very important Anubis to, I believe it was Fluffy Aimers at the time, but this is not one that, you really catch them on a bad day and they look to the end. I mean, you're looking at it right now, and at the moment, it's a man advantage for Durham Lords, but hasn't stopped Fisher College in the past. Oh, God.
Yeah, and the cutoff here for Niels is just perfect. He's just not even moving, waiting for that. And here's the problem. Turner has to try and clear this out. He's called in some support, but it's too little too late. Niels is about to catch them all. Papa, last man standing as Niels plays with his food. Finally set down, but the bomb is, bomb is in mid.
Where are your manners?
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Seems to have some sort of sticking potential. All right, I found our culprit, actually. It's Niels that seems to have the R8 in the rotation. Wonderful work. Wouldn't have expected it to be him.
What do you mean by that? It's so obviously that. It's him or Tatum. Like,
That would have been my vote.
Yeah. Like, listen, Corn on a Corn can get goofy, but yeah, put him in an official. He's taking it seriously.
Tatum about to peek up with the sawed off. Doesn't end up getting the reins down on it, and at the moment it's a 2 versus 5. Krapow about to get direction in with the bomb, but NECC is in range to try and separate from a plant. They at least get that down, and it's going to be a heavier pot from the flank. 2 players to go in cave, and they just got off on this game ender player, so Krapow puts it into a 2v2 and just trying to connect on the spray. Can't make it happen. They found Corn, so Durham Lords, they get 2.5.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit fortunate. I think Fisher playing with their food a little bit there, but Durham taking advantage, and that's what they've got to do. You know, a game like this where Fisher are so dominant, we said it time and time again, but I think it's applicable here once more. Durham have to do the very hard job of forcing Fisher College to play a little bit more respectful before they will. That is a reality of this Fisher team when they are dominating in such fashion. So, you know, that's step number 1 in a round like that where Durham punish some Fisher shenanigans is precisely the first step, or the first of many in that process.
Next step is trying to find a pistol round right here. Durham Lords know that better than anybody. And headed towards this B side, it's going to be a complete clash early, so we might just find out right away. With these USPs peeking, Town gets 1, but it looks like Durham Lords, they are infesting this bomb site at the moment, and Papa is just en route to get a second entry that comes out from Blessed, who puts Niels to rest, and they're not going to stop. Looks like they want to fight right in this corner. Blessed with the second, and Corn responds.
Oh, visual on the first, and Corn needs to trade, but Turner with a double kill to isolate that, and Durham have both pistol rounds in this map, as 3 rounds is now in their stead. The problem is they won the last half pistol round, and it didn't do much for them. The force buy from Fisher College just as effective, and with all those kills, Fisher gonna have tons of options here for their purchase up. They've got MP9s ×2 and pistols for the rest of them.
Turner out on a P90, fighting in mid. Fisher College are getting a taste of their own medicine at the moment, seeing that thrown their way. However, honestly, more of the same. I feel like they went right for the jugular with this immediate A play where you're going to find your opponent off guard in the last half. So they're going to know better than anybody. This is going to be a very difficult retake. That's why you consider the all-out approach. You have the flank developing from Alex. Let's see how Coin get into motion. The MAC-10 catches the oncoming 5-7.
Yeah, now Tatum and Corn, those are the guys who had the SMGs. Tatum going to get flashbangs from Corn. That's fantastic, but only confirmation on Papa. They knew Coin was at one point back in Maine. Now confirmation that that's still the case, but the lack of a kit is problematic. I think there's no time left as it stands, so Corn going to have to get away from this. Drops the smoke just to hopefully bait him in to maybe losing everything in this bomb explosion. But he won't lose it. Coin maintains this MAC-10.
Great work out of that Durham Lords caller. That's immediately what you kind of want to pull here at the beginning of this half. And, you know, seeing how you have sort of the start of ingredients you did at the beginning of the game, like we mentioned, this pistol round, you want to make sure that you're taking full advantage of it. You get that conversion, and now you can really get set to work.
That's one step at a time in a game like this one. Oh, the nade stack, it's going to be devastating. There's so much damage done, but still, they fight through. Those flashes are good, but Tatum is so much better with the SMGs in their face and the rifle behind them. Matthew Tatum, make sure that that does not break through the B site.
Yeah, at some point, you got to consider where exactly you're going to be taking your confidences against Fisher College, right? I mean, rush up B there, going into, you know, those particular faces are not going to be too intimidating, right? Considering just the gunfire right there, or the firepower, excuse me. But right there, it was just enough. So considering that, they're going to be taking everything that they can. It's going the hero op. Tech 9's headed towards A.
Niels right in the mix as well, down mid.
Oh, bombs and T-spawn.
Yeah, and they've got it too. Full control. Not that that matters all that much. Hold on, it might matter. Turner is right there, and wait, didn't Didn't get the bomb, okay, but they do have control. This smoke is effective enough. Krepal, not sure if that's the move, but this shots from Blast is gonna make it work. Alex is in the air with the M4, and it doesn't matter. Anytime Durham have a little bit, they just get rolled over. Coin, 1v4.
That was a round of CS. We just enjoyed, and Krepal, he's making a use of some unusual weaponry. Fisher College, they have 12 rounds here on Ancient, and I would consider this right on time. Probably could have put this away a little bit kind of amongst the 2 pistol rounds you got to consider. I think this is a fitting rest for Fisher College to put this out with 2 pistol rounds, considering up 4 rounds ain't bad.
It's true. That with a early door smoke is nade stack. Hits nothing. Both nades landing in not an ideal position.
Like I was going to say, the nades were easy. Nard out here would be out of business. Austin, he wouldn't have anything on the shelves, but right here, you know what? The Negavin's pretty easy. It's down on the shows why this time. Oh, but the knives are out for Papa. And this one's heading his way, but get out of here, he says to Krepal. That would have been his 3rd or 4th of the game, but you know, this off is going to bring the punishment every time. Fisher College, they got a 13-4 here on the first map of our grand final.
Yeah, I mean they lead into this right with the map pick, so they do get that that availability to kind of choose whatever they want to. You know, this being a best of 5, it's 2 bans into just picks until the very end. So you know, they had the option, whatever they wanted, they could have, yeah. And we know and we saw why Ancient was that selection. Fisher College looking indomitable there, and it doesn't change here tonight.
Yeah, and I really feel like it's an interesting face that you're going to be showing from them, right? Like, it's a puggier play style that they get ready for, right? I mean, this is a great run that you can get off here in the spring playoffs. We know Nationals coming up is going to be a big deal here, Vincent. And so showing that Ancient is going to be a core strong point for you. And even to Durham's credit, being able to, you know, put up some decent results with those pistol rounds, right? Even against Fisher College, those can feel a little bit more random, but I don't feel like it's Durham that are, you know, getting blown out of the water too much. And maybe a 13-4 you see on the scoreboard, but I mean, headed on to Nuke, I expect this one to be probably a little bit more tighter. And if there's any map for them to take here in the first 3, it would certainly be this one.
I'm in agreement. We have a Nuke coming up, but we got a break before that. So we're going to head to that. And when we return, Nuke is up next. Our grand finals continue with a second map in this best of five as Fisher College to dominate their way through our first map of play. That was Ancient. Now we look to Nuke. Mark, why will Nuke be different? You said it might be. You said this one would be a bit more competitive. Kind of talk to me about what's going on.
Yeah, look, I think for the Durham Lords here, it's Nuke that's going to be standing out of their map pool, kind of as opposed to other maps, especially, considering where they were at swinging in Division 2 last season, right? This is one that's sort of a commonality from that basis, right? So seeing that into Fisher College, I think similarly, it's going to be a familiar face in that sense. So if they're going to be able to sort of push back, right? Even I think before we came on the broadcast, we mentioned that you're not going to be right seeing no train being pulled, right? Like Cumberland did on Fisher a couple of weeks ago, or anything like that. Even a Dust 2 out of this map pool, which we know Fisher College can play some ball on. So I think Durham Lords here, it's sort of a pick your poison type of position that you're going to be overall. So why not go for your strongest challenge that you can just sort of walk up to Fisher and say, this is our map as well. And, we're going to go ahead and give it our best shot.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the worry for me. Kind of you talking up where Durham are at. I'm in agreement with the way that you've described that. Where I am still concerned is that this is still a good Fisher map, and they get the privilege of starting on the CT side as well. So Marky, I'm a little bit worried still. There's still a whole lot of game to play, and Durham have got to get stuck into it here and now. They won both pistols back on Ancient. It really netted them nothing. It's going to have to be better in this one.
Certainly will be. When Mr. Tatum is going to be late to the party coming out of spawn. But, right, fashionably late to see a couple of outside smokes be popped. And now Tatum on that very investigation. And now trying to creep through mini. He is basically pre-firing it, knowing that there's a mini and a pop right on the menu. He's going to get executed right in the backside. And now Krepau has got to hold down this site. Belgian at door has got his first. And now he's got Alex right at his hip. They see the bomb planter. It's Papa that keeps them afloat for now. But with 40 seconds ticking on the timer in a 1v3, it's not looking like Papa is going to keep up this average that's been so high. And he goes down. So that's Fisher that survived their first pistol round.
Yeah, it's surprising to say that when they dominate 13-4 on Ancient, but it is true. Fisher on the board with regard to pistols for this one, as they get stuck into Nuke fast and furious with that. But you know what, Fisher College, a nice way to approach that. Yeah, sure, Tatum goes down, but that first initial shot was fantastic. You follow that up with a well-stabled defense from Krepau on door. Even get some support from Alex up the vent very quickly. Durham, they've gone for the force buy into this one. They're looking to continue up and fight aggressively, but that's true for Fisher as well. They get up in their face with just MP9s.
Oh. Immediately below the marshmallow position. Got to go for the trade. And on Silo, it's not going to make it any easier with the MP9 just so close to you already. Is there a scout that's going to be able to get a trade? Prepbow is going to cross it off the list. It's a 4K in this manner. Well, Coin is going to at least limit that range with the auto shotty. I'm not sure that's what it's made for.
I'm very sure it's not made for that. What I do know is that with like no HP, the shotgun will farm at any range pretty much. Papa survives. Oh, it's still getting pushed, but it's a duo of both Alex and Niels who ensure that that doesn't go wrong, even with the SMG. That was nasty, by the way, from Krepal, who just continued to get flash support from the rest of Fisher College out in yard, fighting desperately against some rifles in some cases with just the MP9. That was disgusting. The support that he was being able to have and then work with.
Here goes an HE. That is going to be taking Turner oh so low. And oh no, this auto shotty in this situation is just made to go and farm. One more crack of that thing and Coin would have been gone. But there goes Alex up top to try and get a couple of shots. That was actually Niels there on the flank. Those spams came from elsewhere. And now Papa will go hunting for 3 more players out here with this Deagle. And is staying close to Korn, but 3 on the door.
I mean...
thought he got kicked. So I'm like, what? No.
I was gonna say genuinely could have gone a whole lot worse there for Durham with the TK in the mix. Honestly, couldn't have gone too much better. All things considered.
Keeping it close.
Yeah, very much that's the case. But Durham, first time they're going to be wielding the big guns in this half. And this is the worry, right? T-side start can be very difficult on this map. You need to get into this pretty quickly, in my mind.
Trying to work it outside. They will certainly have the range advantage, but not trying to manage in this same stint. OMJL dropped right onto the top of Mini. They're going to be feeling Tatum and even hearing him around this Mini crawl. So trying to smoke him off, that's on purpose. A couple of these XMs right around, and Tatum sees OMJL and just cancels him out. There's Alex long range, and they are just on their gadget stuff outside. This is crazy. You see that instant switch to the Zeus? He was ready.
I know. I mean, he's looking for him. To be fair, I guess that'll work at that range. Neil's playing what can only be described as a distraction, but Cherner is taking pretty good advantage of that distraction. He's cleared out ramp, sees nobody home, calls for the rest of his team. Hey, I got a lot of space here at ramp, and I think we could just go to B. And that's absolutely true. Nobody down on the lower bomb site proper at this point in time. So this is the correct call for Durham.
They're going to be checking right into Corn before. At the front desk, they make themselves known, and Corn now approaches from the back room. Should have stayed there. It goes down to Cherner, and now they're going to know that this B site is online, but this approach has just bought more time for Niels to get in position down here on the lower site, because now, audibly, it's Alex going to be coming in with a rotation. Well, they've taken care of him, so now back turn, and now you know where this planter is off of it. Now you just got to play around with the time, and you just rip the head right off. Alex wastes no time, takes no prisoners either.
You know, the sad part there for Papa Ka is that he doesn't get the bomb plan. I mean, I understand that they're on max loss now, and so it's not nearly as problematic as it would have been a couple of rounds ago, but, you know, that extra money would have been nice considering, unfortunately, didn't win the 1v1 either. Would have been a nice addition. Got to play for the round. Not really a criticism, just a recognition of what could have been. OMJ out. Oh, eat that nade. Yummy. And Niels, he's got the double on this shotgun. He'll continue to force forward, and Niels is an unstoppable force. The shotgun, oh, finally bested as Korn left to the 1v2.
Two players, red in the HP. And Korn approaches out from Hut. But this smoke is going to be hard to feel your way forward through. Doesn't end up finding his way all the way out. Korn takes his time. Smoke onto the bomb. That thing is going very tall for him, and Durham Lords, they convert.
They do. I mean, Korn just...
Hell of a smoke.
It was certainly something. Obviously, he's thinking that, you know, they're not on site. Doesn't realize that Coin is actually there, but... Now that's a 1v1 I'd be interested. Coin versus Corn.
Ooh.
That's a spicy one. Durham on the board, thankfully. And money is not great. Look at the cash situation. It's rough.
Tatum is on T-roof right now. Wait a minute. That is the M4, thankfully. I was about to say. The R8 beacon like that. It probably would have been just as intimidating as the op, but... Oh, no! Papa. It is just going poorly for you. OMJL, thankfully inside, is going to get that kill onto Korn, but it's going to be really hard to proceed now.
Well, maybe a little less difficult now that Krepel catches that one. Oh, must have made an audio cue here. Has to have for OMJL to be so interested. Further push incoming, but Tatum caught. There was an AK on the ground inside of lobby, but he goes instead for the R8. 1v2. This time it's Alex, the in-game leader, to take the stage for Fisher College. Try to clutch up.
A patient approach that the Lords have back. Alex thinks that they're already up to something in ramp where they previously went in the last round. Doesn't find anything there, so clears all the way through. The Swede is going to have to switch up when necessary, but whenever the Durham Lords feel comfortable enough, they drop down from the T-roof now and will make their way likely to this A side.
Alex is going to be so mispositioned for this, unfortunately. Yeah, and he's stomping around, so his position going to be known here, I believe. Yeah, definitely now if it wasn't before. He's just got the one flash for the job. Good enough post-plant positions as well. OMJL exposed, but that flashbang is perfect. He's out in the open. Thanks to the USP, Alex. Precise is what he'll need to be. But he's going to get the reload off. Blessed is baited, I think, by this reload. Waiting almost 5 seconds for this to go. Fortunately, there's no kit, and so that lack of a kit is what makes it certain that Durham have another round. 3 kills for Blessed.
Well played by Blessed. Absolutely what they needed the clutches here as well. It's going to be USPs reaching to the bottom of the well. They are Vincent, but that's how this thing will go sometimes. Fisher College, they can be humble too. And I mean, this is what I was talking about, right? Durham Lords, they'll get onto a familiar rhythm, and we'll see how they feel to the rest of this T side. Through 7, they may take a financial motivation.
Nade stack time. Oh, and there's a lot here. That nade stack doesn't quite catch them as they had hoped, but overwhelming. Still got knives out, hoping for a little bit of extra cash flow. But they're not going to be given that. Like you said, Durham, a whole lot more durable when it comes to nuke. You hear?
That finds an AK. I mean, he immediately was just holding W through trophy room the entire time. I would love to see him get a couple of here. Right now, it's very challenging with no armor. Takes a good bit there and is only down to 45. Has a player up towards heaven, and it's going to be likely nothing out from Fisher College. P90 right above him, and Turner will give him a good look. I can't say this is the best SMG to farm up some money with if you're an opper.
No, not ideal. Only get $300 with that.
I'm nitpicking now. See what you see what I've done?
You have.
I'm criticizing the fun gun. That's sort of going against all of my beliefs.
Yeah, it's anti-Marky, really. Is he fine? Oh, yeah.
Anti-Counter-Strike. Okay. Let's clean it up.
Fine from the bomb, but not fine from Blessed, who back-to-back triple kills is what he's picked up.
And I will say, Vincent, going back through like a couple of their games, we were having this conversation where, you know, we talked to Coin before the game. We know that Blessed is, you know, sort of playing like anchor supportive roles on this team. I know that he kind of on average is maybe not fragging like higher with the rest of the squad here on this nuke. If, you know, he's going to get involved, this is the grand finals best time too. Right now, Turner is going to lead the rest of the pack towards this ramp play and just goes and gets destroyed.
It's a nice trade, though. I mean, really fantastic. Now Tatum incredibly caught off guard. Surprising mispositioning there from Tatum, but Alex, he's got them, and he's got them good. Double kill from Alex as a flashbang to allow him to fight further forward. He's not ready for Blessed, but he turns. Blessed for the double, and a 1v2 now almost available, but Niels is too fast arriving on the scene.
Great try by Bless there. Turns and then burns 2 site players in 1. It was a 3-0 compact that they got up in the middle of this nuke here, but it's Fisher that can't really play that back and forth game here on the table, right? I mean, OMJL, they through kind of examples like this know where things get expensive. Toting that Deagle shouldn't be too big of a threat here, because Deagle's rushing this far. We'll see if this ends up going down and punishing him, but at least now you have a gun available.
Yeah, I mean, they got Crep out, but Niels there for the trade. Niels sticking around. Oh my goodness, Niels still catches him off guard. And I mean, look at how terrified Turner is. He's calling for support. He's calling in for OMJL to provide that coverage. But meanwhile, Papa is out on the A-bomb site, and he's taking no prisoners. Doubled up the last 2 of these remaining Fisher members inside of the vents. This is a little bit complicated as they get back out and into the mix. It's Alex to fall first. Now Tatum, do they know? They've got no clue, and the bomb is now dropped in the open, so Papa has to take the initiative.
And Papa sways back and forth. The 1v1 and Durham Lords, they know how valuable these clutches are. Tatum gonna have to spam in reload quickly. Got to take a break from this fight. 50 seconds to make it happen. And Papa catches Tatum mobile and drops him. One that separates Durham and Fisher College here in this first half.
Well, I tell you this, we talked about how Fisher, they can like to play a little bit aggressive. By a little bit, we mean a lot aggressive, and oftentimes such to their demise in some rounds. This is an example of that. You know, Fisher just nonstop, like to play active, and Durham punished that in a big way. It's a half of Counter-Strike now that Durham have, as a whole, been able to do so more often than in the previous map. And they continue.
It's going to be going right by Crep out here. It's with this Deagle. Oh, and the knife is going to be chasing down OMJL. Here's an MP9 off and loose in the lobby. Corn gets a little bit of help from Crep out. Gets one Deagle and is going to try and scramble a couple of more. Salvage? Something.
I mean, got the AK. Playing around with this. That nade's going to be juicy, though. Great trade out of Blast to another impact frag to close the round for Durham. Talked about him as maybe not like the highest fragger on the team necessarily, though the roles that he plays, but damn if he's not performing en masse here today.
Especially a first half put on notice like this. It's going to be really difficult to stop that T-side force of Fisher College, right? You just went and got reminded of that on Ancient. So take full advantage of this, and they are at the moment. These pistols are going to be coming down in the way, and it might just be time for Durham Lords to go ahead and take a lead here on Nuke.
Ooh, maybe not. Turner gets devastated. Krepau is here again. They didn't see that he was there last round. So, as unfortunately, his teammate goes down. Tatum with the funny gun is hit a headshot and will allow them another advantage. It's a 3-on-2. One man up or Fisher College.
And Durham Lords, they are shook. To the USBs, where everything was supposed to go right, it just went and took a 180 turn. Papa can go and hide, but Alex, he is going to be on the investigation right away. Goes back to give a little bit of inclination to a reset, but they're held out from all sides, and it should be Fisher College who got you pinned in. Corn sees this man turn the corner. It may just be 6 rounds, but it's on this AWP, and I've just gone ahead and cursed him.
Yeah, but now you're not going to anticipate anyone to be up to your roof. I don't believe. As soon as this happens, Alex can walk down the ladder. Has done so, and in fact is dropped silently too. So makes it so difficult. The speed with which that flank comes in, Papa has no clue. Fisher College. It's they who take the 6th round. They who confirm at least small advantage. We'll see if it's going to be of significance as this final round of the half comes through. Oh, bad news for Durham. I thought they had better money, Mark. They have nothing. Pistols armor, that's all they can afford.
I mean, Pistol's armor, while it is intimidating on Nuke, it's never a huge issue because go ahead and just turn up the pace. Click out towards ramp, and you take the easy call, it's towards B. Go ahead and get this bomb down if you can. Dare to try. Crap out, already in position. And what the hell? He's looking right into the wall. This had to be an Austin short or something. Opens the door, clears out the corner, turns it into a double, and that is a beam.
Yeah, I mean, he knows from the very beginning that he's just not taking the first one. He's waiting, holding, biding his time to deny the planter, then the follow-up onto the Vin player who had gotten by initially. That's just patience paying off for Fisher College. 7-5 at the halfway mark. But Durham, I mean, 5 rounds on the T side. I know it's so hard to, like, define this, Marky, because Fisher, are so aggressive. So many of these rounds Durham can get into by just effectively holding back Fisher. It's easier said than done. But now on the T side, it feels like Fisher just, they get the buff from being the ones making the decisions now.
Oh, wow. Quickly out like that. We know for this P2K, it had a very, very confident bout of in this. Prepbow is just going to get dueled here in the vent, and he comes up with that through the blade. Ever did we doubt. Opens the door down below and is now just trying to play with the minds right here of Durham Lords, but it seems like they may be aware of this and okay with it. They've got a route back towards lobby.
Missed smoke to heaven. But as you say, it is going to be lobby, both of these Durham Lords to play. Coin and Papa. They split up. Papa in towards Hut. Coin prepared for Crepball on the other side, and they both win their duel. A split approach, a very scary one, but when both of you win the fight, it's good enough. Durham, they pulled off another pistol, 3 out of 4 over the series thus far. And that should be enough to equalize this thing unless Fisher can go for one of these force buys again, which they will probably do, considering the bomb plant.
Yeah, immediately a couple AKs are brought up. See a Mac 10, maybe a Galil around the mix. Can't forget about the R8 in the back pocket. Do what you gotta do. But right now, it's Fisher College that we're gonna have to understand that this is definitely within territory of being completely torn out of their hands. Running forward like this, like literally for Alex to go ahead and take this fight. Didn't quite work the way they wanted it to, but this boost may go exactly how they wanted to draw it up for Turner. 2 out of it, and they've got a third total. It's the entire round pulled over right to the Durham Lords.
I mean, hey, Durham, honestly, they take a bit of a gamble with how heavy their yard presence is in this round. If for some reason it's a ramp rush or an A-pop a little bit less devastating, but especially a ramp play, that's very scary position for Durham to be, but Fisher all in for the yard play as well, and that's perfectly set up for Durham to take advantage. Use those weapons and the additional range with which they had. That's exactly what you'd hope for.
A couple of Glocks, an upgraded pistol or 2, and your average Fisher College knife round kill. This time it's Korn delivering the diagnosis. OMJL, look out below. He actually just caught himself halfway midair, Vincent. That was impressive.
It was, but in the meantime, while all that shenanigans is going down, you get a bomb plant. And it's nothing more. Blessed with another double kill. We'll make sure that that doesn't get any further expensive. That's pretty solid considering that even though you allow a bomb plant, Durham has 4 surviving. Keeps their economy in check. As they move on, they're going to need a strong econ to fall back on, as we know that Fisher College with rifles in hand is a deadly threat. We'll see a big green come out here from Tatum. It's been a topic of conversation that we really haven't had to broach, which is the AWP and who wields it here for Fisher. It's sort of been anyone and everyone over the last 2 years. We've seen pretty much everyone take their turn with it. Sans Alex and Korn, who just arrived last year.
Quickly, all the way down. Oh my goodness, they're adapting. They are adapting. The auto shotguns have been brought out by the Durham Lords, and now Fisher College are in trouble.
They're about to fight. A little bit of a dicey position, never mind. It's a position that was exposed, but now falling back is Coin. Needs a big kill there, but is just a dink, not the follow-up kill.
Oh, this could be a lineup for Turner, and he just is absolutely amazing. Beautiful work out of Turner. He lines him up and absolutely goes insane.
I mean, that's incredible spray control and transfer. When you talk about some of the most difficult shots in CS2 right now, it's 3 guys on your screen and a rifle in your hand. How do you actually transfer that spray? Massive round for Durham after Coin can't level up to find a double, even the single there. Turner has his back and provides the defense. Started that round with this XM, by the way.
Goodness gracious. All the way out towards ramp. Fisher College seen into a lot of territory here as Papa loses that outside fight finally. And down below, Coin is dropping down the vent with an op and killing Crep Bow drop B. This is quite a scene that we have as the XM goes ahead and removes Niels. It's going to have to be Corn and Alex that raise the roof in a 2v5, and there's a couple of shingles.
Now Turner's in a little bit of a tight spot. He's low HP, and he's separated from the rest of his team. Corn, though, he's the one who's caught in the trap. More man to find, but Alex has him. Coin, AWP currently in hand. Plenty of time for Alex to play around with this, but the A-bomb site is his for the time being. He's going to get the numbers punched in, and he's not going to be bothered by it. But look at this nade. Coin has an HE. Will it be placed correctly? Oh my gosh, Coin is not got a clue that Alex is tucked in a second vent. This is free for Alex. It's a matter of when he swings, and he swings for the fences. It's all of them picked up, a 2-on-4 for Corn and Alex.
Beautiful work that they sent in, you know, quite a rambunctious round that they already had themselves off to. Durham Lords keeping pace, but right now they are feeling their heels from Fisher College are clipped.
This is where Durham can lean back on that economy that they built up. 4 players staying alive in the anti-eco. And a beautiful opening duel. Bless is having a game.
There's that Galil trying to go through a smoke, and it just won't work. Not on to Coin at the moment. It even takes a liberty trying to get that working through the corner of the fading smoke. Tatum finds that all the way through. That's Blessed, who's had quite an effort. And it seems to be OMJL, the only member that's currently down on this A-bomb site. Is Papa going to be rotating up the way? So it all depends on the timing right now. And Tatum, he just slips it right past the main player. Bomb plant is going to go down without a notice.
But Corn is so far away. He's currently holding for the lobby aggression, which is coming. It's just, you know, a little bit slow, a little bit late. Oh my gosh, Tatum! His head's on a swivel, and he catches. Now Corn has the perfect opportunity to catch Coin in the back. He won't be checked, and Coin is going down to Corn from behind. Tatum with a triple kill. The AWP might have been tossed around, but a man proficient with it is Tatum.
It's unconventional. I mean, we commented that the last couple of rounds have certainly held that theme, but that's how Fisher College, they'll get it done. The first half of this game, we had outside fights with XMs, yet this just feels right. Posted and just absolutely melted.
That's devastating. Turner's first op of the half, by the way. Last round, Coin wielded it to a limited success. Corn's gonna win his duel on to OMJL, who's been so good there in Maine. Makes life difficult now as Fisher close in around the A site. Blessed is here, but Blessed is gone. And unfortunately for Durham Lords, Fisher about to take the lead back.
P9 right around this corner and just immediately checked. Down low, Alex is just sneaking in on secret, making sure they have everything on lock. He just finds that last player, snips him out. Durham Lords, they take another moment before this thing gets too ugly.
I mean, things are, to be frank, already pretty ugly, I think, looking into this series. But this map, it's a beauty. Back and forth, as Durham may have lost a little bit of the momentum there, Marky, but they've still got a little bit left to play for. Got to take an eco, you would imagine, in this round. I mean, money for Turner and Blessed is pretty good, and OMJL has a fat stack, but you know, one eco could really make this sort of best possible purchase with an op and everything. And so that's what Durham are going to do. I'll let Fisher have this without a fight. And, I mean, to me, that would be, you know, investing here and force buying what would be the rest of the game. Would be letting them have it without a fight. This is the fighting. It's about to get going here at A.
There may not be a whole lot of process here, though, from the shotguns. That will be due. You at least get a refresh on a couple of these flashes. Fisher College, they won't go and just turn their heads to immediately the first play that they were dedicated to. They adjust. They don't want to go down to these shotguns. They're into the lower bomb site where the rotations are just going to be here by the Lords.
Yeah, great flashbang, great reroute actually here for Fisher. You know, notice what the reason for their pause there was, is they saw the shotguns they respect and they know how effective those can be. Tatum may be in trouble, and he is, but beyond the door, unknown is Niels. This is still a little bit more expensive than they would have liked, but Korn and Alex handle business. This duo, an unstoppable force here on the second half. This T side wouldn't be where it was if it wasn't for Korn and Alex. That 2v4 especially changed the game, as now they have 11.
4 in a row on the back end of this T side, Vincent. And if Durham Lords aren't able to put up a good little gif right here, I'm not sure it's going to come at 12. Right, this is going to be the final buy that they're going to be sort of having, and at least it's consistent, right? You're not always missing that AWP. Rather, you are always missing that AWP. So this is how it's had to have gone, right? You found the success with the rifles when you had to. Tatum just going absolutely crazy all the way out to the back of red. I would like to see this work out, but oh, Tatum just playing around. He's got that onto Papa. I don't think he's done outside, but OMGL will force him to be.
Korn's still here, which might come as a bit of a surprise, actually, for the Lords. That being said, devastating find for Krupal. Turner, he's gotten into the back lines, and I didn't even realize how deep he was until he's gotten 2 kills. That Turner double changes the game. It's Durham now who lead the charge here in round 21. Look at how separated Fisher are currently. You've got Korn and Alex. Duo that we've talked a lot about, but Korn saddled deep with a full kit of utility in the bomb here in garage, whilst Alex looks to re-clear lobby.
Korn with the entire belts of utility here, but sort of waiting on Alex to go ahead and win the round. I know that sounds silly, but he is the main approach to this. Korn finally has the wits about him to go ahead and make the timing plan towards the heaven wrap. Bomb to go down, dropped it all the way to Alex, and 25 to go.
Oh, and I mean, Korn's in a power position now. That upper position is so good, but wonderful clear from Coin. 1v1 here for Alex on the site, but Turner with a triple kill. Durham Lords, they do it. And I gotta say, my anticipation there, based on Turner, is some fist bumps all around after that round.
Yeah, no kidding. That is a great approach that the liberties taken by Turner pay off immediately, right? Those are 2 huge kills, got into the back of lobby, and I can only assume that was through the hut flank, so you get that down undetected. Turner comes up with a huge play.
10-11. We're deep into this one, Marky. You said Nuke would be a closer affair. You were absolutely right. No doubt about it. Fisher pushed to the limits at the moment. The problem is, Fisher bend, but they do not break. At least we haven't seen them do so. Durham about to change the game, change history if they can do that here. One more round, and Fisher's economy will be broken.
Headed towards ramp. Right in the smoke. Wait till they pull the pin, and it's Coin that can't begin off of that angle. He's fighting for his life and can't get one. Headed down, steaming out to B is Fisher College, and they're to be to 12 out of a position like this.
Dude, this is so difficult for Durham. I mean, genuinely feels near unretakeable, but that's a change. Turner wins the duel, forces Niels back. That allows space for the drop down vent. Wonderful flashbang, but Papa has the coverage. Tatum still here. Tatum creating opportunities, but a missed one right there. It's Korn in the clutch, but you know what he can do, and he's about to show what that looks like. First one for free as Papa falls. OMJL drops the smoke, but it's not on the bomb, and Korn waiting and watching the wide swing. Korn for the clutch.
That's 12, finally dropping to Fisher College. And now they can go ahead and take a breath and take consideration as to how they are going to be ironing this thing finally out on Nuke. They want this to be down in regulation. They don't want to have any consideration to overtime here.
Well, it's not they who will have that decision. It's Durham, who might be limited might not be working with perfection, but they've got a whole lot still to play for. Their map in this series being picked out. Tatum blinded, but still good movement to get down the vent. That's a little bit of a problem.
Right, the response from way up, and Vermaz is going to gain 1, and that smoke drops. That may mean a little bit more risk upon this. Can't actually find this player out of it. But now it's Coin versus the world on Nuke to try and keep this alive, ducked in the air, but he finds his way back to the floor secure. Up against Niels, a clutch out of it, and Coin, the captain, needs this for his squad, and he goes head to head, and he straight up wins it. Durham Lords, they survived to 24.
I mean, a 1v2 clutch there for Corn, excuse me. Then you turn the coin over to Coin, where Durham needs one the same, and he pulls it back after what's truly been some, difficult moments for Coin over the course of this map. Has often been able to get his one, but has been in positions to want or need a double kill. That's the time where he stands tall. That's the perfect opportunity to take it. It's all the rounds, all 24, as Broken are Fisher. They have to go to 1 AK, 1 Galil, couple pistols, and the Scout.
Double Tech 9, just like that, 22 seconds in, and you can already begin to see the nightmare forming. It's Nuke that might be coming down to a crashing end, but OMJL, he is here to lift it up, and they have just saved that immediate deficit through many. In fact, they are recovering well. Coin comes in, he gets a 3rd kill, and all that remains between Durham Lords and overtime is a Whimsy, Scout, and a Deagle, and you can say goodbye to that Deagle. It's going to have to be Tatum with heroics here at the end.
Oh, Tatum. Not got the trusty big green. It's the small one. Scout in hand. Able to push towards double doors, but not baiting out these guys. Only 1 shot. 1 shot with this Scout is all they need. They're both here at single. It's like fish in a barrel. The first is his. Tatum looking for another one, but OMJL left unknown, left unseen. But the smoke, it's playing both sides of the argument. But the nade will do it. The nade will shut it down. And with the kit, we're going into overtime. The Lords have made their way through, held strong for 12 all.
Wonderful work. You just have to never give up hope on this Nuke. Even when you are facing an intimidating body in the ring, well, you just keep on swinging. You'll find yourself in overtime, and now it's first 16. We know that pretty well.
Had a lot of experience here over the years, as has pretty much everyone in this server, to be fair. Durham Lord's going to take their additional tack that they receive at the start of OT in order to talk it over. I mean, understandable. Let the blood settle. Allow maybe some cooler heads to prevail after what was required. A huge clutch for Coin. Follow that up by another clutch up there. Denial of the 1v3 for Tatum.
Sort of a refreshed road. It's 10K that I was about to say the CT side is working with, both sides. And they're going to be on notice with it early. There is the most expensive part of it. Already giving a good look. Maybe more out of this scope and quickly into Crepbow and a 5v3 advantage.
Coin constantly looking to show that he is just a big moment player. When it's all up to him, when everything's on the line, that's when he's at his best. That's an incredible double from the op, and he stays alive, kicking for a little bit more. Papa in trouble as Alex gets his vision onto one, grabs another one, and now he's going to catch the timing. No! OMJL gets Corn in the meantime. The push up and through into lobby. Still unknown is Alex, but Tatum has a whole lot of work to do, and Alex gets caught. Now it's all up to Tatum.
And I just got a feeling here in the 1v4 that it may not be Tatum's time. Durham Lords They force this overtime, and they go ahead and get the party started themselves. It's the first round that falls to this humble CT side.
That's incredible. Incredible for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, you had Coin, that double kill with the op. You know, Turner very often going to be wielding that weapon for this team. But even beyond that, Alex in such a power position, he is in locker there, unknown to any of the CTs, and he doesn't get anything out of that position. The rest of his team starts to fall behind him, but we're going to pick up the pace. A faster play as Alex waits on the second smoke for the cross. He'll get off and get through with absolutely no troubles.
But what's the next step here? There doesn't seem to be the immediate response down below for Alex, and then Krepow has just been found himself. So 40 seconds into this thing, and Alex in a crucial time to get a kill just like that, but he's traded out as well. So now it's just down the well. It's Turner that gets this kill, and now it's panic mode. 4 versus 2, and you're clipped again. Turner just keeps on going further, and now Korn isn't caught within the smoke, but is just in a 1v4 himself. I gotta say, it'd be too little to ask of the man. Too much, rather.
Yeah, I think far too much considering this fact. Dude, Turner was down in vent. Tatum was there, ready, watching for him to come up vent, it looked like on the minimap. And still Turner won that duel. That's mind-boggling success for Turner. But if there is a man you'd want into this situation, it would be Korn. He's been in so many of these, but it's not the first kill for him. OMJL ensures that this doesn't go wrong. Double up for both him and for Turner. As Durham Lords, they are doing it 2 rounds in a row here to put the CT side within a very close margin of winning out on the first half of OT.
Mr. College may just go for a waxing one. Immediately out the door, Krepow looked determined, but this is all just a ruse. It's Krepow trying to keep them busy for an immediate hit down below. One down the vent. Niels is going to lead the way, and it's Papa that's going to get there too. There's a second down the ramp, so there's 3 players here on this B-bomb site. Alex with the double, and Korn is going to get this third. So, you know, no matter the proper rotations, they are just going to be cleaning every single germ off of this bomb site.
Yeah, I mean, that's an incredible entry duty that Alex is just providing. He and Niels kind of a duo trying to get back into this B site with a triple setup there. That should be, I mean, nearly unstoppable, that 3-man setup with the crossfire like it was for Durham. But Fisher and Alex particularly find a way out. We'll see what this 2v3, or 2v4, pardon me, has to offer. OMJL and Blessed are already deep into this, and time is already a significant issue.
Just getting spammed down. Alex with his AK, a 3rd total. You can make it a 4th as well. Hitting that timer up for a 13th. Fisher College still in a deficit, but something tells me they have not shown their best here in this OT. They wrestle down at the end and, you know, just get one, Vincent. So they are not going to be out of this barn yet.
You know, Fisher College has a just an overwhelming amount of firepower now with this roster, but I still feel like, you know, when I first kind of saw Alex arrive into the North American scene, you know, I was stunned by his ability to pick it up and just win them rounds in the crucial moments, and we're seeing it here again. You know, it was Alex and Korn to turn the tide in the second half where Fisher were down, where they needed a round. It started their comeback, their 4-round stretch at the end of the half, and they've done it again there. Alex's quad kill to change the game again. The complexion looks different when Alex is in the server.
Korn doesn't even give a look to this ramp crawl. Well, there's Alex gone as a immediate response to this rush. Durham Lords, they test a little bit. They wait. Serve up in the J-Hall. Let's see what they can get.
Tatum has arrived on scene here at B to provide some support for Korn. The rest of the CT side has responded in taking lobby control. They're both indoor. Neither of them are particularly exposed. It's going to take Coin a whole lot of commitment to actually find either of these CTs. Oh, big kill for Coin. Starts it out right, but Niels is still here on the scene.
That door actually goes deeper within it. Such an important life to the CT side, and there has been one of the most rooted positions in this round. Corn finally strikes up for that kill. OMJL, what's this bomb plant going to do for you if you can't get the round? Got to stand tall here at the back of the site. Has a kit to do so, but multiple bodies that are going to give him a problem. OMJL swings out. He's got that close distance. Almost had that shot on the Corn, and then we would have been getting scared. Not going to get scared now. It's a tied game, and where Fisher College are going to be able to calm themselves for the rest of the series.
Insane round out of Niels. I mean, he is truly a unstoppable one-man army Terminator type play there from the single door on A bomb site. That is crazy to think about. I wish we could see it back, because Niels with the A4, I mean, he makes it look like an AK. He's so supremely accurate with that gun, and it's from range as well. Every time they swing, he bests them. That was incredible from Niels. Fisher College putting it all onto his back there on A, and for good reason.
Adam caught outside, going early, can't get that all the way down. Oh, but Krepow a double, and now that is just beautiful. Corn gonna keep on going. Alex down below, and that just has quite a sparkle about it. Fisher College, they find each one of their foe in at least 15 seconds to go.
Oh my goodness. It's Fisher after Durham forced their way into overtime that find match point in overtime first and foremost. 16-14, a real possibility as the CT side flourishes. Durham Lords have the full AK contingent, but Fisher might as well be on the T side. Look at them. They got 4 AKs themselves. Krepow, he's got one of them. That nade, though, going to be settling a little bit short. He's locked into this position, and Turner seemed to have that inkling, have that knowledge. Is Krepow overwhelmed?
It's a great shot. Corn, Alex, just back to back. In a 2v2 with Alex still alive, wanting to add 34 to his resume. He's got 32 right now, and you can do the math. Chasing down one more outside of AC. Adam, he is just going to be giving one for himself. That op has gotten dirty in this game. Not as clean as Alex, and honestly, all the way down to another 1v1. I don't think we would have it any other way to get 30 on the board.
Bomb. Doesn't have the bomb. It's dropped out at red. Oh, no. Difficult here for OMJL. Tatum sprinting away. I said red. Pardon me. It's in spawn. And Tatum, I don't know if he's read into this, but he's got it locked down. Spotted him. Seen and executed. Tatum to clutch it up there for Fisher. Clutch after clutch for Fisher College in overtime at 16-14 to close on map 2.
Yeah, wonderful work for Fisher College, but it's Durham Lords that should be getting the credit as well, right? OMJL, Coin, they go absolutely insane personally, right? But, I mean, I can think of multiple instances where this entire squad came together and really had to be very active within this Duke. Their rotations were excellent, Vincent. Pushing Fisher College to overtime on literally one of their picks is very, very much a reason to keep your head high walking into, I was about to say Mirage, this Anubis right after this.
Yeah, listen, I think that is accurate. At the same time, it really felt like the Durham Lords had it all going correctly for them. They won those important rounds, but it was the clutches, the big moments there that listen, Durham had some of them, but Fisher were unstoppable in. I mean, talking about that 2v4 that changed the game, that's Corn and Alex to kind of do that. We had big moments across the board. You know, Krepow, we had Niels, we had Tatum. Like, everybody kind of had one of those big moments, and then into overtime, it felt like that was elevated, even as the first half didn't go exactly correct. Get onto the CT side, and the game changes once again. Man, an impressive showing out of Durham, that's for sure. Their map pick still falls, though, at the hands of Fisher. We'll see if it's going to be the Falcons heading into another fantastic grand final performance, another victory, put it together twice in a row. That's possible after this break. Fisher College are on a search for back-to-back Division One Grand Final victories. But Durham Lords stand in their way. It's Anubis, could be the final map in this Grand Final puzzle. It's the pick of Fisher College as we slide back in their direction. Marky, is it over here? Will Fisher be able to do it? Where are you standing as we look into this third map?
So I'm standing on this ridge over here, right? I got a good view with my binoculars, as you just saw. From what I could see, pretty far away as we... Oh, I thought we were going into the map. When I could see this veto board right here, and I knew this Anubis was going to be coming up third, right? Like, I think that they also just got a good reminder that this is one that's going to be on notice, right? If they're going to, be leaning into some shenanigans, right? Like, there's no secret that that nuke probably could have been a little less close if they weren't going for auto shotguns right at the beginning, right? Even though that was working out for them, can't hate too much, right? But they just lost this Anubis to RIT, Vinny. So I think that it's going to be sort of at the back of their minds. They're maybe wanting to make this a statement. We'll just see how it goes, right? Because Durham Lords just had 2 players put up 30 kills. They're a serious threat in this.
They are, and I think that's kind of what Nuke was. I think ultimately Nuke needed to be a victory there for Durham. That's kind of where I'm at. I think that if Nuke wasn't a victory, I think Fisher ultimately probably will take this. That's my thought. That being said, if nothing else, Durham came out and they proved. I said back on Ancient that Fisher are a team where they need to be shown that they need to be putting some respect down. Well, I'd say Nuke was that. I'd say Nuke was absolutely that. And Durham Lords now have a little bit of that respect. We'll see if that continues on to Anubis, because that's where we're currently at. The good news, I think, here for Fisher is that... Wait a second. I say good news. Fisher picked this map. Why are they on the T side?
Durham Lords... They are going for maybe what is a little bit more unorthodox. Here you will usually see this T side called up first. Anubis going to be kind of on notice as sort of a T-sided map, so this is going to be sort of handing the Fisher College baton a little bit more than some.
I just feel like it's a scary decision to allow Fisher to start on the T side. Like just period. But not the pistol round that's going to be Durham's victory. Still fight into these dualies, which is a little bit of a terrifying prospect, but Fisher had already pretty much locked in the round by that point. Thanks to Tatum and Niels. It'll be Fisher starting off on the hot foot. We'll see what Durham can kind of draw up into this next one. I don't even think there's a real reason to go for a force here, and they won't.
Yeah, I'm really not a fan of it whenever I think teams ultimately do go ahead and do it, right? Like, I think that maybe if you're Fisher College, right, and you are walking in a confidence scenario, right, I think that you would go ahead and sort of go ahead and, you know, lean your head to an idea like that. MAC-10s are going to be out right here, however, and I think it's going to be really hard to try and gauge where these pistols are going to be going to work on a map like Anubis.
I think it will be difficult, is difficult. It's a nice find, especially if they find Alex. Alex is low. Don't quite get there. And they won't quite find too much more off the rip because of it. Removing the SMGs, but as you and I both know, Mark, those are the ones you can afford to let go of.
Yeah, I gotta hold on to those AKs. We know the game. Vinny, you know me, man. I'm one of those guys that's always wanted to hop up, get a MAC-10 so I can have an excuse to do something troll, right? Jump around the corner, get a kill, maybe die. That's why I'm casting.
That's a good point. You do like to have some fun. To be hit is the plan from the start here for Fisher.
It's a gracious gap over towards the right side as well, but very coordinated. Oh, they waltz in, and it's instant onto Papa. Alex a little bit blinded up, but Horn not intimidated by the smoke, and in this engagement, it's Coin that ends up spamming two Fisher College players out of this. So with Turner elevated here on the flank, this timing is going to be inevitable to do some damage. It may just be up to go for a good retake right now, but the timing is really not going to work out for this Vincent. He hasn't spotted the player on Pizza, which is going to be staring back at him, and that's a timing that doesn't go their way. Swinging out of E-Box, they're going to go down as well. So Durham Lords, they confidently clean up, and that's a really good sign for them.
Yeah, settle in for what's, I mean, genuinely a fantastic retake. I agree. I thought that the timings weren't going to really work out very well for Durham, considering what you had kind of highlighted being an important pizza player, but turns away at the last moment. Fisher caught in that moment, and Durham surviving with all three. That's another key piece to the puzzle for the CT side of Anubis. You need to, catch a win early and start building onto that economy is what I think you need to have. As look at this, Fisher College instantly into, a half-bot eco. Tatum's on the hero rifle. So, see what they can do.
Ready the corner. Papa gonna get active, and Churner not afraid to throw their name in the basket. That's no doubt. Deagle has to make the difference here as Niels walks back up and into this B side. Really doesn't have a point to bargain on, and now he's gonna really have to bet on himself to go further. However, further removed from the objective.
Niels, all he's gonna have to attempt. This Deagle trying to find his way to the bomb is the first of these problems he's got to find a solution to. Unfortunately, no solutions in view. He left it a 2-2 scoreline.
Well, where does this T side stand? I tell you what, right? You're like getting low in the bank accounts. Did we just get finished talking about Mac 10s? Well, I mean, with Tatum the last man to buy, that's not something that, you seem to expect. A scout that he picked up a couple of times on that nuke actually was pretty manageable with it. So let's see Tatum give it a shot here on Anubis. Looking to get Crep out into E-Box pretty early on here. That opener from Alex will give them the justification to put a player a little bit further in this, but Nade doesn't catch Crep out nearly as badly as it's drawn up.
Crep though still in E-Box. This is so important and isolated. Coin thinking that's a favorable fight for him, and technically it is, but Crepal in the mix means that it won't be so simple, won't be so easy. Crepal still forcing his way forward. Is he spotted? Was he seen? No! Papa did not see, and Crepal certainly has. Now knows that nobody's on beat. Calls for the bomb to rotate fast. So pumping on the brakes for a second just to toss a smoke into there. Temple smoked off, and now, this round is almost done from here.
Yeah, it's going to be Papa all alone with this AK, with this M4 rather, with one gun, right? I'm not sure it's going to be held on to. Crep out right around the corner from this man, and he's just a menace. He's just a menace. It feels like Crep out didn't even realize he was behind his enemy right now, and turns the corner, give him a couple of lefts, and a right to the belly. That seems to be how it goes.
Man, I mean, it feels unfair because he's just got the most absurd timing. Crepal saw him leave B, so he knows how fast he could be there. And of course, Papa has no idea of that fact. But man, to just get knifed on the outbound, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating after you nearly win on nuke. The Crepal's still willing to be taking a knife out right now.
Most definitely. Oh my goodness. Papa and Alex are right to go with that Eagle, but can't seem to recycle it on. It's Crep out to carry on with his AK, and Niels will just speed it up. It's Fisher College that doubled their score. They've got 4.
Down to the wire in this one, and down to the wire, by the way, another Fisher College team here at the NECC. We got Rainbow Six going on right alongside us on twitch.tv/NECC2. That one's going the distance. It's in map 3 as well. Akron up ahead of Fisher College. So if you're interested in Rainbow Six, check that out as well. Both of us going deep in these finals. Not the smoke that they were looking for, to be sure, but the Molotov's on target. West paying the price, though, with those mollies. But Turner, oh my gosh, he's gotten a double. Bomb dropped out into the open. This flashbang, he's mostly up ahead of it. Vision returns, but he doesn't have all of the bullets available.
Gotta get this bomb down ahead of this smoke. Talked about this Tatum scope, and it'll have to be required here. Alive and well, disconnected from that scout, and they're just playing for the kill. And they get it. 5 rounds up here for Fisher College, and they're doing very, very well here on their, essentially, what feels like home turf.
Home turf for now, especially when that was a gun around. Durham, you wanted to see more from them in a round such as that, especially when there's some missed moments, right? That smoke, as an example, crucial for them to get that double kill. Turner finding 2-piece on to deny the entry at the very start. Like, all of these little things kind of allowed for Durham opportunities in that round, and yet still it falls flat.
As long as Turner has a premium rifle here and has a timing with corn removed, that's Turner that adds in one more. Keep in mind that that's going to be that bomb collected, and you're going to need to do a whole lot more than find the device. It's going to be Niels that finds the back of the head of OMJL, and then it's going to take Turner to put on the clutch pants and go absolutely huge here.
Yeah, but unlike some of these previous clutches that Turner kind of had a possibility over on Nuke, this is very viable, especially when Niels isn't looking at him at all. Bomb to be collected. Kreppel has a full HP bar. But no utility, and now a smoke in his face. There is the time to just sit and wait this out, and Turner's getting
I love
active.
this play.
Crazy that they meet inside the smoke. Do they realize?
Touching.
Oh, Kreppel! He knows, and he devastates him. Another knife for Kreppel.
The Legion Counter-Strike's most villainous member, Kreppel, with what seems to be his 6th or 7th knife kill of the series through 3 maps. Just absolutely takes Turner out of that situation and, you know, puts a nice check into his bank account.
I'm blown away that Kreppel doesn't have a stat track knife, considering the amount of times he pulls it out, you know?
No kidding. Oh, Turner can't get one on the fadeaway with the op, but Bless can right away. That's on the A4. And now it's Turner that does get one. That's close up and personal. Time to see Turner turn on with the SOP and does get 2. That's right away. And Tatum right around the corner from this. Tries to get a bit of a spam. That's all the way through. Tatum just keeps on holding W. And you know what? Corn holds Mouse 1 in Fisher College. They're holding the Durham Lords down.
I mean, that's honestly the only way that Fisher win that. That's an incredible work from Turner, who ends up getting a triple kill on that AWP, despite missing the opening fight. The opening duel goes awry. All of that is sort of made irrelevant by Tatum and Corn. You know, Corn gets the bomb planted and then covers Tatum. They had both aggressive members. Oh, so prepared for that push. Niels showing no stop, gonna provide the entry into the beat as Kreppel follows suit. Fisher College flying through this Anubis.
Just peeking right above it. It's a good shot down. Turner potentially with another big play. It's gonna be Kreppel down to 6 right here. And he just stands waiting. This guy can't be tamed.
I just wouldn't go into any smokes at the moment. Hold on a second. I mean, a little bit more damage to be done at least. OMJL trying to convince them that there might be a kit on someone, for example. Kreppel dead? No, he's fine. I always forget how much of a dud the Anubis bomb is.
Ooh, an AK collected at the end. That's actually Durham Lords considerably down by 6, but considering they're getting out with 3 AKs, I'm not going to be disappointed at the point where they get this back to, right? I think this, you know, could potentially end up in an 8-4, and then I really wouldn't be nitpicking at all.
Yeah, I mean, and if it does, I'd consider 8-4 very viable half. Very strong showing. Ooh, Alex very blinded by the flashbang, teed up by Turner. Coin gets his. And suddenly, Durham Lords are up by 2 at the start of a round.
Right by. And the flash doesn't even touch. Just down for it. It's Tatum that can go, and his body will just stand in the brush. Time for a Niels 1v5 clutch.
Bless triple. Man's a menace there from Pillar. Stalling him out. Stopping him. He can't gain ground. Now, Durham actually have all the AKs they could want. 4 of them. As they collect a couple more to close out round number 11.
And Tatum didn't opt for the AWP right here. Certainly did it economically. They don't need it when they're going to be headed again. It seems to be this quickly. Papa goes for a quick peek, takes Alex right away, and they even have a scope here. So right now, looking above this smoke, it's Niels that's going to be so close to the top at the moment. It's Fisher College no longer tempted to go in on this quick play. I say that as Tatum walks through with the bomb on his back and is going to get punished accordingly.
I mean, they don't have a lot of options here. They don't have any other map control. Kreppel slinks through. His pizza position gone, and Corn thinking, what happened to the rest of my team? He'll try for the clutch. Starting off on the right foot. OMJL will fall. There's no question marks here. No issue of where is Corn coming from. They know.
Oh, they know. Give it a shot, Mr. Thomas Corn. Give us your best magic trick. Molotov out to give him a nice Russell tussle. And he's gone down. That's 8-4 as we served it up. And considering that those last two are coming right at the end of the half, Vincent, I mean, you can certainly see a light at the tunnel now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think that it looks like a rough half on paper, but as you and I both were highlighting there at the end, 4 rounds for the CT side is absolutely fine. Now it'd be nice for Durham to find another pistol round right here. Really take some pressure off of them, because when Fisher have 8, you know, even if it's just on the T side, it's so quick how these rounds can turn. You know, one gun round changes the game, and it's like 11-4. Bad news here for Fisher. Durham know exactly what's going down. They heard everything with that mid push, and Alex and Corn gonna have to 2v4 again.
Unfortunate. Those dudes can bull down the lane. Horn gets immediately whipped out from that smoke, getting put up at Temple at a unlucky time. So Doolies make a do, and OMJL can't quite work it all the way out with him. So quite paced here. The problem is, well, now Alex has gone down, but you know, there was always the issue of not having a kit. So Corn is gonna have to work quick.
Yeah, I don't even really think he's working on this. Kind of hopes that he's going to get more fights, and he was, only because Turner was on this flank. So, ultimately, would have been denied by time or by the kills from the weapons. It's Durham to pick up that hopeful pistol round I was discussing. Fisher College, I was going to say, might be baited in, right? You know, they've been so strong on these second round purchases. They've shown that can be a threat, and also, you know, they dominated the majority of this map, but they don't go for the force. I like to see that.
Niels and Drepout standing in that smoke. A blade trap you just see set. These 5 USPs, they're certainly a threat. Bring this corner. It's Tatum that does convert one of these kills, and now they realize that the A site is going to be the goal here.
Tatum ahead of the smoke initially. Oh, doesn't have any way to escape. Blessed as the cutoff through middle. And Corn has this SMG. He's just heard Blessed drop, so an isolated fight. That's 600 extra bucks for Corn. What a big value add at the end of a round with USPs. You know, and the kill is just the icing on the cake.
8-6 right now is, like, certainly nothing to scoff at. Fisher College here, they're going to have to pray that they're going to be able to get a good rifle round out and below them. Otherwise, they're going to be off to quite a classic but tricky Anubis experience. Survives in the end, but it's a MAC 10, and maybe give that over to somebody else.
Send it out and hope someone else can utilize it effectively. It's going to be Alex to wield. He's the sole man with a kit as well. Going to be involved over in middle. Crep out unstopping. As Alex in the mix, and oh my gosh, it's Alex who sort of devastated his Crep-Out initially, but Alex gets the double trade in mid. Now can upgrade if he wants to, but wants to make sure this timing's right here as well. Isolated though. And so now Durham have post-plant advantage 3-on-2.
Yes, they do. And this is the first gun round on the board. If they could walk away with this, it would mean a lot. Flash up. try and give them a good look in, and they reconsider. Fisher College, they're going to hold on to both of these rifles in round 16, going to give it another go. This is big for Durham Lords right now, Vinny.
I mean, I said that, you know, things can get out of hand fast. That was in reference to if Fisher College won a pistol, but you're seeing that now in the opposite direction where Durham win their pistol, win the first gun round, and we're already nearing a tied scoreline. And you say they're going to give it another try. Looks like they will. I was going to say, money might not be great here. And it kind of looks to me like Alex going to use that extra money that he farmed up. Yeah, that $1,200 from the 2 SMG kills is super helpful for Fisher to get a very significant purchase here where they wouldn't before.
Certainly would. Headed in the way over towards A. Oh, Coin is going to get checked out on the initial nade stack. That's wonderful work for Fisher College. Prepared for this one.
It's devastating, though. It's a B spam battle that Cherner wins out handedly. I'm going to step back in. That's going to be problematic. Krepel's right on the other side. And meantime, Tatum tangles here in E-box with more, but he's spotted a ton of information. So Durham's A attack is somewhat known, counterfeited by the fact that Fisher have info.
And so solidly with this A4. Now he is going to be on fire, put on notice right now. But the backup is here, and it's Ben really within the distance right now. Horn is just going to fight to the death. So much so that the flank is going to catch up in time. Fisher College, they've got 9 rounds through the double of Krepau at the end.
I think that is actually a really good example of the value that Korn brings to a team, right? You said fight to the death because that's the expectation, and that's what you'd kind of anticipate most players to do, but that's not what Korn will do. Korn continuing to fight, you know, very alone initially there, gets his one, stays alive forever in order to buy not just enough time for the rotations, but for Krepau to just like fully flank the entirety of Durham. That's the value that Korn brings to your team.
Absolutely a rock, and quite literally the anchor of the A bomb site, but certainly that feeling within the roster. Obviously, Tatum, the next player out on the way of this Fisher College squad, is Thor will come to replace him, competing soon. Obviously, Horn does feel like the man, the commonality in this team.
Winning formula for multiple different collegiate superstars programs over time. Durham looking to test those right here and now. Alex almost ready to take the timing. That's the bomb that's just been spotted and dropped. And Bless doesn't know which way he wants to go, but he does finally get a visual, but it's not going to be in his favor. Alex wins once again. Doubled in mid. Alex is stalwart.
Just back up now from the kill that Papa just collected. Gonna go for a little bit more here. That's his second. That's wonderful stuff. And this is gonna get very dangerous. Now the Swede is gonna need to pull up and bleed one more member. He's gonna be headed down under the bomb up top, and that's headed towards A.
Have the time to get the numbers punched in. Feels like Alex has already done so much, but Papa the same boat. That nade is on the money. And Alex falls without even taking a shot. 4 kills for Papa. And we lead in to Durham Lords, taking one step back towards Fisher.
Wonderful work out of that member at the moment. Papa did it from the beginning into the end of the round, and I will comment with style. Beautiful nade as one goes to the pile at Alex at the end, and right here trying to go to the same business, but it's Fisher that are collected right now. 3 out of that Canals Peak. Now having to turn around and deal with B. That is another whole batch. And now you see audibly that's going to be going down with no respects. And Corn right around this corner. There is a spade of Fisher College at every leash of this bomb site. And then they snap. It's Fisher College. They get 10 just like that.
That was beautiful because Tatum, so very loud, audible there in E-Box. Corn takes advantage of how much information that gives away and plays off the back of it, just not overstepping. Very nicely done while Alex gets the rotation through spawn. Through spawn, excuse me. Fisher, double digits. And as much as the T side can usually weather the storm of a back and forth scenario far more effectively than the CT, well, Fisher had a little bit more to fall back on. And Durham starting to run out of cash now as they rush towards B.
Knocked down, that's Niels and E-Box. Tatum goes a forward and maybe a fourth tapping out of the A4 right now. But it's Niels that will just put Blast further off of his heels. It's 11 Vincent, and now Fisher seem to be in motion.
Problem is that I think Durham, they don't have a lot of time here. They've got to find the correct adjustment right now. There's just no other opportunities as they take their tactical. I think this is, a chance to maybe pressure Alex in mid. Press on, the A extremity earlier. It's kind of my read of the situation. Fisher have also been dominant, though, in E-Box, and I think there's, an argument to be made that that's an area they need to put some more resources towards. They've been focusing on that mid fight a lot.
Have chosen to gone kind of right to the fights in the past couple, prompting whatever will get Papa in placement to go for a clutch like that. Kind of just finds that off of a kind of half-dwindled A execute. They go right into B the previous. Measuring up now, these rifles at the moment, Vincent, it's going to have to be more of the same, kind of rocking up that confidence. And I'm not sure they're going to have the kit to work that in middle. That's just my diagnosis. But it seems like that middle smoke did just miss.
That's a good point that you make. Well, Coin didn't get the first look on the first cross, but does see him second time. Oh my goodness, it's a drawn-out duel. How has Coin survived? They do test middle. But Alex is not exactly an easy test to pass. Alex continues to press on.
Quickly onto Blast. It's a 2v2. The next option towards A. Just so separated. Now approaching all alone. AK is just cut off. Papa with a huge headshot right now. It's going to have to be Corn. Enters back into his wheelhouse. Up for another huge clutch.
One man in this clutch is incredibly low. That's Coin. He's on 7 HP, excuse me, without a whole lot left in the tank. But this is a great angle. Despite that, Corn bests him. Smoke available. Gonna place that onto the bomb. Time starting to tick, but with Corn having a kit on that nade. Oh, it gives it away. Everything out in the open now. This Papa didn't even wait for the tap onto the bomb. Corn's just gonna hold. Corn holds on to this one, and he gets away with it inside the smoke. Barely provides coverage, and Corn with a clutch. A 1v2 again, late into the game. It's just like Nuke.
And they've got that championship point. Fades in it. And I would say it's poetic to have a vision of deja vu along that very direction. Great work for this Fisher College squad. Right now, it's Durham Lords that still have some fight in them. We'll see if they are done yet. It's 4 rounds that separate them from overtime. We just came off of that, so gotta question whether that's still in the realm.
Oh, that's a beautiful nade. Alex is, teed up a little bit of damage onto Turner and to Blessed. Let's crep out a wheel. the AWP at the moment. And this might just be it for Fisher. Not a man advantage, but the flash for Alex to fight forward. Oh, and they've lined up! They've lined up ×2! Papa with a crucial trade, but he's taken so much damage.
How do they get out of this one? With this man, OMJL through Papa, who gets another headshot, but OMJL needs to do some heavy lifting here with the health advantage. Korn gonna be up for another clutch scenario. And can this collegiate legend go 2 in a row?
Two in a row, more ways than one. Double up here at NECC. Back-to-back grand finals for Fisher College. Now Korn with 2 1v2s, the chance. OMJL, though, he's got eyes locked on, and he's got the headshot as well. No dice for Korn. OMJL ensures that Durham can stay alive. Durham pushed to overtime on Nuke. Can they do so here on Anubis?
One step at a time. And the next step for Fisher College, if it goes wrong, and maybe bankruptcy financially. That's the concern here. And it's a site that's going to be right put on, at least with the posturing considering. Having Alex here right next to Korn is going to be that much more secure, but Bless just got that frag onto Krepow. This B site up into the engagements as well. Seems like everybody is rotated A in time.
Yeah, the problem is they got to now provide respect to the B rotation. Because obviously Durham, you know, they've just taken out Krepow. He's their entire B presence at the moment. And Niels continues to search for info, search for a fight. Search, he goes and he gets it. But it's not the outcome he was hoping for. It looked like Fisher had reacted accordingly in the first 30 seconds of this round, but since then, it's all gone wrong.
Turner, Korn, 2 in a row, a 1v5 for Alex. Double digits now for Durham Lords here on this Anubis map, and I got a feeling, Vinny, I got a feeling that we are gonna be in for one. This is interesting looking back across the board, but we've done it with less.
I kind of feel the same way. And when you look at the money, it tells the same story. Tatum's got cash, but everybody else is poor. And with Fisher needing to take an eco in this round, that's likely a Durham Lords 11. So all 24 twice in a row. That's a ton of damage. That's a ton of damage on these pistols, but no confirms until the very end there.
Oh,
Ooh, that was scary. Turner and Blessed are very low indeed.
we got 24 rounds, though, here on Anubis, and this T side is no threat. Durham Lords are taking advantage right now, and they're well into manage, kind of in all 5 of their members. An effort that has got them this far, you may see into more rounds here in Anubis than originally intended.
We're in here and all of that presence. It's been a constant factor. They've been on the move here at A. Korn gets vision back, but he can't lock it in for a frag. Alex escapes the HE that was hunting him down. A little bit of a gap in the smoke to allow for him to get a free shot, but he doesn't get vision. Not just yet. And Durham, they've slowed things down. Thus, the Tatum can arrive back on scene. Coin with another one is massive, with OMJL providing the overwatch.
Oh my goodness. We are going to overtime right now. We're not done. Unless Alex has a miracle right now. And I gotta say, I don't think it's a time for it. First kill goes the way of the IGL. But it's Coin that looks right back at him, quite literally, from this anchor position. He may just go ahead and try and swing for the final kill, but it's the Opper. We go past 24. It's Durham Lords with 4 in a row. And Vincent, they're putting Fisher College on notice at the moment.
Yeah, if you look back to the last season in another grand final, not with Fisher College, but with Durham Lords, who are themselves trying to double up, find the 2-piece, but with Division 2 at the front of that one into D1. It took them multiple overtimes in their 3-1 attempt and then conversion against the Drexel Dragons back in the fall. So Durham, they're no strangers to overtime. In fact, you could say they flourish in it at moments. Fisher College, hard team to beat at the best of times. It's now deep. They go.
Papa. It's a great shot up into Niels that goes 1-for-1. Rep out. This time toting the scope over on this B side has a pretty good approach, and now Blessed and OMJL are going to have to figure things out.
As soon as the pressure of closing things out is alleviated, Fisher turn right back to their winning ways, at least thus far. They're looking to target the right direction. Durham, 2 players up mid. It's going to be only Korn who could have a say about this initially. Great timing, though, on this frag and the swing. Korn's going to get them both before the end. Fisher take 13, but not before Durham force this overtime.
Beautiful work out of Fisher College just early. Or it kind of seems like they've gotten their nerves out of the way. 4 rounds in a row from Durham Lords is finally stomped out. And they finally let Turner get their hands on that scope again. So let's see how they carry this forward, because throughout this entire series, it's been quite confident into that middle play. Can't quite get the hands on that player. That's Tatum that just... It's really been a menace here.
Maybe so, but Papa been just as much so on the other side of this. Great work for Niels. Chases one down with an HE. Papa's still alive and kicking, though, with these refrags, and outed A as well. This is very difficult. The bomb is in such a critical position. Oh, crap out. Nice attempt, but a missed shot. Takes a lot of damage, and how has Tatum done this? Locked him down. And now, Papa, how much more can you do, my friend? You got 2 entries today, but now you need all 3 for the ace.
I mean, literally, though, you kind of want to hold on to this rifle. Either way, you go down, it's kind of no rather difference. Durham Lords, they are really going to be feeling it off of this T side. Fisher College, they are definitely en route to making this 3 in a row.
On the way to that, sure. Double up invested because why not? It's not first of those AWPs, though, and Tatum that's going to connect. Wow, Tatum really wanted that fight. That is incredibly aggressive. He probably should have paid for it with his life, but he doesn't.
Niels looking down below. Canals is wide open, Vincent. So this means one of 2 things. It's a middle that's about to be put on notice, and they do have the audio cue. Right, but that's so routinely followed up with the actuality of an A play, so they are keeping kind of everything into account. Krepau is walking around with this AWP. Scope is going to be approached right now, and he's clipped Blessed in the back. Right on time with the trade, though. Turner's found Tatum, but it's Niels that, with that wide open view, went ahead and got active in Canals. Alex checks back in the middle.
I mean, with that confirmation, with Krepau clearing that out, this should be just what they need. This smoke does complicate matters, but that's a great flashbang from Krepau. Makes it a lot more doable. Coin gets his, and Krepau trades as well. That's an incredibly fast flick from Krepau. 3 rounds straight for Fisher. As I was alluding to, Marky, Fisher, when the need to close this out, the need to find the victory is no longer there. They find 3 straight. They're gonna get 3 more attempts.
Just get one more. Bust it over the goal line, Vincent. That's what they need. $10,000 to work with. Point is going to go ahead and get the hands on that AWP to begin. And now Durham Lords, all you got to do is run it back. Force another affair of these OTs and we'll go again.
Durham, as has been the occasion throughout this best of 5 thus far, making sure to correctly utilize these tactical timeouts. They've done a good job of taking them at opportune moments, in my opinion. Often turn the tide. Let's see if this one can be the same. It's got to be now. Everything's set for Fisher, though. The 2 finals in a row, the repeat. First opportunity to do this in overtime is at hand.
3 players here on this B side. On the back end of Fisher CT, they brought the op there as well. This time, just accompanied with the B. Straight up the rifles want to go for those fights, and you know they're going to be in the wrong place, the wrong time. Turner on the safe side is going to have to survive, but you know you're going to be carried out by Korn next, and this bomb about to go down. Fisher College in the finishing moments.
Or is it? Niels has the cutoff, but there's still much to work with here for Durham. They got a massive amount of utility, but Blessed is so alone. This is why it's so difficult, and now there's support. Alex is here for Niels, and he's just got no idea that Alex is going to be stepping through that smoke. It's devastating, but Alex on the retreat gets caught.
These are the most disadvantaged post plants in the world. Niels is going to have to reach through the fire, through camera, and take a pretty picture of this 1v2 because he is going to have to remember an OMJL on the bomb, and he can't separate Fisher College from going back-to-back championships here in the NECC Division I Grand Finals, Vincent. They did it in the fall, and then they've done it in the spring.
That they have, and to put an end to the Cinderella story that's Durham Lords throughout this semester, they come from Division II in the fall, they move into D1, and they get into the finals. Incredible story, as 3-0 though is the way that closes. Fisher College truly are the undisputed #1 untouchable team in collegiate Counter-Strike.
Most certainly so. And I mean, you get 2 overtimes here this evening. It was certainly a battle here with Durham Lords that, you know, show a new face. But I think we all know that Fisher College is capable of, you know, holding that title, and to, you know, prove it here in back-to-back semesters, I think means a whole lot to a group, you know, being able to send out, you know, longtime, you know, Tatum teammate of this program out with a championship. You know, maybe we can have one more. He's going to have to, you know, clear off his other hand, have another ring for that finger, Vinny. I mean, great work here by these guys. I'm sure they're already celebrating the group that they are.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a good way to kind of allude to and talk about, you know, the fact that this is final season here for Tatum. Absolutely, it's a beautiful way to clean things up. But even beyond that, a team and a roster that's continuing to build forward. I mean, we already know that they are still like looking to recruit, you know, talented individuals, and you know they've continued to do that to find a replacement moving into next semester. But I think what's important to kind of keep in mind about this grand final specifically is that, you know, this ties up what I would consider like a clear era of time here for Fisher College. You know, they dominate all the way across the board. Everything that they could win, they do win over the course of this school year. And I mean, I don't know, you know, that's hard to do. Even some of the greatest didn't do that. And I don't know. I don't know. I think we need to take a moment and realize that I don't know that we're going to see that happen really ever again. Like, that's how incredible it is.
I mean, even with like, you know, great programs around like Northwood, so many rivals that Fisher College have, you know, come to a compass here in their run, right? I would say that I think the joke I was like thinking up in my head, everybody's talking about this, you know, possible vitality era right now. This is the only era I know to be going on for sure is Fisher College. But I mean, they're coming off of the Davenport era. right? Where they had Drexel breathing down their necks that whole time, Northwood as well, right? And I don't think that Fisher College has, really seen into the threats like they have. They've carried on confidently, right? They've done things outside of collegiate as well, right? We know they haven't went and made ESL Challenger League, similar to that Davenport program, but we know that, their goals certainly headed there. I know that they're playing in this season of advanced out there, and, are going to be seeing to, more collegiate competitions later this month. I know they're going to be headed out to Vegas to compete in a Philadelphia tournament. So, I mean, this Fisher College team, they're going to be running deep and obviously sending out Tatum happily.
Yeah, and an absolutely stunning way as well. Just to quick congratulations for Durham Lords. I want to say commiseration on the loss here, but played a darn good game of Counter Strike, pushing this Fisher College team to overtime twice. I set it up before, Marky, but this was a difficult best of five. Like the veto in general, lean Fisher, and Durham made him really work for this. So I just want to shout out Durham, who played a really good game and should not be too disappointed to lose to such an incredibly strong Fisher College team. With that being said, that is the close here for us. Counter Strike is a wrap here on the season for the NECC. It's gone by in the blink of an eye, Marky. It's been a pleasure.
Just like that.
It truly has been just like that. It's been a pleasure alongside you the entire way through. We've had a great time, you and I, and hope to be back. But we are back here, by the way, on the NECC channel. Tomorrow we've got a couple of Rocket League games going for 2 grand finals. That's going to be a lot of fun. Another of those is Overwatch 2. That's going to be Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern is when both of those start. And then on Saturday, we don't always have a lot of games on Saturday, but it's CLOL and CVAL season. So the NECC bids to both of those are ending over on Saturday. That starts at 3 p.m. Eastern. So you're not going to want to miss all of the collegiate action that's continuing here at the NECC over the next few days. And if you really can't get enough, we got more going into May. It's May 9th and through the 11th at the Boeing Center in San Antonio, Texas. That's where NECC Nationals will be taking place in person. We'll get to see a bunch of these teams in a LAN environment. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. We're excited to show you all of that and more, but make sure to tune in for all of it. Thank you so much on our behalf. We'll see you next time. Peace out and have a good night.